For some Overreaction Friday. It's Friday, right? It's Overreaction Friday. Dominique, if I said the Giants need to draft a quarterback in the first round, is that an overreaction?
Absolutely an overreaction. The Giants need a lot of things, and a quarterback, I think, is among those things. But if you want your quarterback to have success, I think we've seen over and over again, you need to bring him into a good situation. So I think the Giants, if there's a quarterback that falls to them in that situation, they're probably going to draft him. However, I don't think that'll be great for the Giants or the quarterback that ends up in a situation that doesn't have a great offensive line, does not have great receivers, and a defense that's in flux.
Mike T?
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think they're going to get to where they want to go if Daniel Jones is their quarterback. I mean, when you look at what on that last segment when we quarterback. I mean, when you look at what on that last segment when we talked about Green Bay, Detroit, San Francisco, all those teams can score points, and Daniel Jones has had just trouble staying healthy. So, look, they have a number of things. I agree with Neek from that standpoint. But can they consistently score with those other teams in the conference with Daniel Jones? I don't think so.
All right, Mike, if I said the Vikings are the best roster in the league for a rookie quarterback to go to right now, is that an overreaction?
Graz, it is not an overreaction. I was trying to poke holes in it, but when you look at starting with this guy right here, Justin Jefferson, and the left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, those are two great young players, and then you sprinkle in, hopefully, a healthy T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Brian O'Neill at right tackle. It's hard to find a reason to think that a young rookie quarterback couldn't come in here and thrive.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal roster. When you talk about, if not the best wide receiver in the game right now, in Justin Jefferson, and you look at T.J. Hawkinson, they just paid him. Jordan Addison having over 1,000 yards last year and really. And they just paid him. Jordan Addison having over 1,000 yards last year and really stepping up in the absence of Justin Jefferson when he went down. That is a perfect situation. And then you have Aaron Jones in the backfield to be able to hand the football off to. So this is an excellent situation for any rookie quarterback to actually go into.
All right, I want to talk about a veterans situation, and that's Josh Allen in Buffalo. Harry, if I said the Bills need to trade up for a wide receiver, is that an overreaction?
This is not an overreaction. They're picking at 28 right now. If you want a guy that you actually want, which could be Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU, you got to go up and get that guy. This is a massive need for this football team with the departure and the trade of Stephon Diggs and also Gabe Davis no longer signing with the Buffalo Bills and now in Jacksonville. So this is a massive need, and Josh Allen needs a weapon.
So I wanted to ask about the quarterbacks and wide receivers in these first-round situations. We are being told that this is a loaded wide receiver draft, right? So if you need a wide receiver in the first round, you are sitting pretty. So I want to know, when you look at this first round and all the teams, would you say Josh Allen is the quarterback that most needs his team to draft a first-round receiver?
Hell yes.
And you just explained why.
Just explain why.
So, yeah, what would you say, Mike?
Daniel Jones, if we're going to go with Daniel Jones going back to the Giants, they need an explosive playmaker, somebody that can really be a difference maker. Maybe it's Jalen Hyatt last year, rookie from University of Tennessee, but they need another player that can be a true difference maker on the outside. To me, if Daniel Jones is going to be successful, that's a big step in the right direction for them.
Dominique, who would be your quarterback that you feel most needs his team to draft a wide receiver in the first round?
Yeah, I'd go with Patrick Mahomes. I think what they accomplished the last couple seasons has been really impressive, especially last year. But it was a lot based on, while we do focus on Patrick Mahomes' late-game heroics, it's a lot based on how great that defense is. And defense is not something that traditionally can dominate year to year like that. At some point, they're going to need Patrick Mahomes in that offense to return back to the way that we have come to appreciate or come to expect them to be. And I think they're going to need a receiver, especially with Rice and his legal issues. They're going to have to get someone in there that they can rely on. They tried a bunch of different ways, free agency, maybe it'll be Hollywood Brown, but I think at some point they're going to have to draft someone to come in there and be their true number one as Travis Kelce ages.
Yeah, they've been patching it together at that position since trading Tyreek Hill, and Mahomes overcomes a lot, but I'm sure he would love to have a true number one to throw to. I went with Justin Herbert of the Chargers, who have lost Mike Williams in free agency and traded Keenan Allen to the Bears. It seems like they are in need of that position. They're picking fifth. They could have a really great one fall to them at that spot, or they could trade that pick to somebody who wants a quarterback and take a receiver a little bit later in the round. But lots of quarterbacks, obviously, that could use the help that a first-round wide receiver would provide. I want to get back, though, to Josh Allen, because that's kind of the most pressing news, right? They just traded Stephon Diggs. It's a roster in Buffalo that is in a transition phase. And I think a lot is going to be asked of Josh Allen no matter who they draft, right?
Absolutely. But again, you look at what happened in Kansas City a couple of years ago. Tyreek Hill's traded to Miami, and what do? They win back-to-back championships. That's the definition of greatness. And I got to think, Buffalo's a really good front office. When they made the Stephon Diggs trade, they're sitting there at 28. And Graz, you just mentioned it. This draft is loaded with receivers, so they have to feel there's a receiver or two that will be there at 28 or within reason to go up. And then after June 1st, Tre'Davious White's cap charges come off their cap. Maybe they go after a guy like Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins. So they do need a receiver or two, but it's really going to fall on number 17 here to step up his game even more, because that's just the reality. When you're paying a franchise quarterback and these other players graduate, you have to win with young complementary parts.
Neek, I feel like the arrival of Stephon Diggs in Buffalo sort of coincided with Josh Allen's rise to the top quarterbacks in the league. So does he need that guy? Do they need a number one receiver replacement for Diggs in order for him to continue to succeed?
It doesn't seem like he does. I mean, he continued to have success last season without throwing to Diggs very often late in the season. I think that Josh Allen's versatility is something that allows them to kind of cut corners sometimes on offense. It also creates some risk. But I think when you are in a rebuild mode like the Bills are now, I think we keep referencing the Chiefs because they did it the right way. And they did it by drafting a lot of players. And some of them hit and some of them didn't. So that's why I'd be opposed to them trading away any picks to move up for any player, unless unless Marvin Harrison slides to them or someone like that. But other than that, I think you keep drafting on offense and defense, and maybe you become a team that focuses on 21 personnel and plays really good defense, a la the Kansas City Chiefs. Or maybe you become a team that throws the ball well. It depends on where those draft picks hit. You need to be flexible in your coaching staff, and you maintain that flexibility by having as many picks as possible.
Quick final word.
Now, I do believe they have to draft a wide receiver. Also, you can find a guy in the second, third, fourth round. When you look at Puka Nacua, you look at A.J. Brown, Tank Dell, second, third, fifth round receiver guys, you can find them all over the place too now.
I just can't help myself. Tom Brady announced that he's coming back. We're talking about receivers, Harry.
I love receivers, man.
No, he wants you to come back.
Huh?
He wants you to come back.
Oh, no, I'm not pulling no Tom.
Harry's very happy.
I retired from the juke joint, but I love my family. I love to be here with my kids and my wife.
Harry's very happy here at ESPN.